Here we go.
Yeah, MLB Data Warehouse. Where the spreadsheets flow and the takes get spicy. John, Tim, Doc, let's go. Welcome to the warehouse, stat stacked to the ceilings. Exit below, flying launch angles, got a feeling. Tim in the corner with the prospect report. Reading fan graphs, blurbs like it's soft core sport. Junior and double A, Tim's losing.
Buy lows, sell highs. John and John are back. Welcome to the second half of the fantasy baseball season. We've got a good podcast for you today. I'm John Anderson. John Allen's here. Say hello.
Hello.
So what we did was, it's a good day. It's a good couple days to do some second half content. I was trying to take a break. I did that yesterday. Took a nice break. Didn't do anything. I felt like a man without a purpose. I don't know. I was off from my regular job too. So just spent time I had some friends in town and did that. So now it's time to get going again. What we did is one buy, one sell for each team. We'll go through them. Obviously, 60 names to talk about, actually, plus some bonuses. So we can't go into detail here. Nobody wants to listen to a 3-hour podcast. We certainly don't want to record one. So we're going to go quickly, but this is going to be a mix and match like John Allen did. Maybe he plays in more dynasty leagues and stuff, so that's kind of his focus, and you'll see that. We'll just be careful about highlighting kind of what we're thinking. Mine are going to be more like, here's your second half guys, buy low, and there's different degrees of league size and thought processes and stuff here, but we'll go through them. They're also listed in the written article if you just want to peruse the names quickly. Didn't give any explanations there, but I start with the Braves, and feel free to give me your commentary here, John. But Austin Riley's my buy. I can't say that it's because he's been good this year and he's just unlucky or anything like that. It's just simply like Austin Riley is probably getting dropped, and he's Austin Riley. I know it's been like 3 years since he's actually done anything good, but Austin Riley can't be this bad forever, right? And you can probably get him like for free in a 10-team league right now.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I was just in the middle of working out a lengthy trade in which he was going to be a throw-in. So that's right. Kind of where he is at the moment.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Like, he's the same cost as like maybe that Tommy White guy that just got called up for the Athletics. Like, third baseman. I don't know much about him, but that's what we're talking. Right. That's what we're talking about. Just like these guys probably won't be this bad for long, and you can get a all-time low price on him. So that's Austin Riley for me on the Braves side. For like a 10-team league, I leave him on the waiver. Like, I don't really think, it doesn't look like he's going to do much this year, but things can change in a hurry, and he obviously has a decent major league pedigree behind him. Sell Ronaldo Lopez. I just don't think he's good. I don't know. He had like that 1.99 ERA a couple of years ago. Somehow made no sense. He was like the luckiest starting pitcher season ever, but now he's back and he's really owned. I think people remember that season a couple of years ago. I just don't think he's good. I've looked a lot at him for DFS and stuff, and it just doesn't seem good to me. So I wouldn't buy into him. And now over to you for the Yankees. We're doing the East.
Yeah, for the Yankees, I'm looking to buy Austin Wells. He has been incredibly unlucky. If you look at his batting average versus the expected batting average, and his all the other expected numbers are much higher than where he is. I mean, he is at the bottom. It is going to be a bold person that picks him up, but I think he's going to be an interesting guy. And again, he's somebody who's almost free. He's a free agent in an AL only league that I am in, where that plays two catchers. So he is readily available. Paul Goldschmidt on the other side. I don't believe what I saw in the first half of the season will be replicated in the second half of the season. So generally 38-year-old first basemen don't get better in the second half. So I am ready to get rid of him.
Yeah, even that's seriously fallen off. He's still like Goldschmidt's the sell here. Really not hitting righties well at all. 263 expected WOBA, 7 homers though. So he's done that, but he's hitting 201. Like, his numbers actually kind of look like what you expected. Like, he'll do okay against lefties, but before the season, we thought he'll play against lefties, he'll do fine, but he's not going to play against righties. And when he does, he won't do well. He's got 7 homers against righties. He's been forced into more playing time because of the Judge injury and stuff, but I totally agree there. Goldschmidt doesn't have a lot of sticking power. So that was Wells for the buy and Goldschmidt for the sell on the Yankees. Phillies, I put Justin Crawford here just because I kind of like these prospects that come up with a lot of shine on them. People are excited about it and they don't do super well. Crawford's hitting 263 this year with 2 homers. It's been a little bit better lately. I like the fact that he's almost 300 plate appearances in. The Phillies haven't given up on him, and he's getting a little bit better lately. He should be able to give you those steals and maybe develop some power as a 21-year-old or whatever he is. So that's what I had there. Justin Crawford. It's a deep league buy. Sell Brandon Marsh, right? Best any half of his career. 301 batting average. That's dipped quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. 321 expected WOBA. BABIP, right? You might get, well, this is kind of interesting because people will see Brandon Marsh's 377 BABIP and be like, okay, get rid of that. That's way too high. The BABIP signal is like the most obvious one for buy low, sell high on a hitter. But Marsh's career BABIP is like 360 or 355 or something. So he always kind of does this. He was at like a near 400 BABIP for a while. So it's all just kind of normalizing. 15 homers, he's not going to do that. Doesn't have that kind of power. So, the greasy-haired all-star, people saw him. He was probably the most shown player on the home run derby. Did you watch that?
I didn't, but I'm not surprised.
It was Schwarber and Harper, so they kept going to the home team. It makes some sense, but every time, Schwarber was up, they would just like pan to Brandon Marsh. It's like, stop this. This guy is disgusting looking. I don't know what he does to his hair. It's drenched every night. My wife couldn't stand it. It's like, so, if you're into aesthetics, there's a reason to get rid of him there. That probably doesn't matter, but definitely a sell high opportunity for Brandon Marsh.
All right, on to the Rays. I went with a very deep cut. I guess because we're not having waiver wires this week, it felt like something to throw in here. Victor Mesa Jr. Was a prospect for the Marlins. Somehow the Marlins and the Rays love to trade prospects. Now he's with the Rays. He's getting some playing time in the outfield. I don't expect huge numbers from him, but he is somebody that I'm intrigued about because he is still 24, still relatively young. You never know what the Rays are going to do. And it was very difficult to find a buy because when it comes to expected numbers, the Rays, like 7 of their 9 guys are playing above their expected mark. So it was a little struggle to find somebody to buy on. On the other side, Nick Martinez was a very obvious sell. I also had Cedric Mullins as a choice in here, who isn't bring any batting average, but he is hitting for power and stealing some bases. And I wouldn't be surprised if Cedric Mullins is on the injured list in the second half of the season. He's not a young man, and maybe Victor Mesa picks up that time.
Yeah, Nick Martinez has a 2.65 ERA and a 14.5% K rate. Like, I've never seen such a thing, and it's the Rays, and maybe the Rays just have better expected numbers. Maybe they've solved some new algorithm that we'll all catch up on. If any team would do that, maybe it's them. They do seem to get these overperformers, quote unquote, at a higher rate. But Nick Martinez, man, I just never see a decent ERA with a K rate in the teens, and that's what he's been doing. 0.9 home runs per 9. It doesn't even make sense. Like, that's not like a totally elite home run rate. His K to walk is terrible, 10% difference there, and yet keeps getting it done. So I agree there. Mets. This is a little bit of a buy high, I guess. AJ Ewing. I just think like he's got power and speed. He has more speed than power, we thought, but 7 homers. He's been so good since he kind of got his legs under him, or whatever you want to say, in the major leagues. I just think this is like a potential first or second round player in the future. So maybe this is more of a dynasty thing. Maybe there'll be the league will adjust. He's only 200 plate appearances in his major league career, but everything looks really good. He's been leading off a lot lately. Mm-hmm. And I do think that more casual leagues, they haven't really caught on yet. Cause I've had people ask me like, should I drop Taylor Ward for AJ Ewing? And it's like, yeah, of course. Like no doubt. So some people just don't seem to really get how good this guy could be. And he's like 20 years old, I think. So
he just turned 21. So yeah.
Crazy young power
leadoff spot is nice.
Yeah, the Mets seem to like him. Lots to like about that Mets lineup. I put a note in the thing here, just like the whole offense could be really good in the second half. Lindor's back, Soto's healthy. They haven't really had those two together a lot, and now they have Benj and Ewing, and Bichette's been better. I do have Bichette as the sell, though. Just like he had kind of unlucky numbers at the beginning of the year, if I remember right. But recently he's been really good, and it's kind of gone the other way. Like the actual WOBA has been way above the expected. 10 homers. He's fine. He's just I don't know, just doesn't seem like a great fantasy league player. Better in standard roto because the batting average is typically pretty good, and his hitting 255. The expected for Bichette is at 280, way above. I just don't really think the homers and the steals haven't been a thing for a long time. It was tough to find a sell on the on the Mets because it's been a disaster first half. So that's not like the strongest conviction for me, but Bo Bichette, I'm just not too interested. And my buy high is AJ Ewing there. So you got the Red Sox.
Yes, Ranger Suarez on the IL at the moment, so maybe there's a chance to buy on him. The injury is a groin and not an arm or shoulder, so I'm not too scared about that. And he had been turning it up in the month or so before he went on the IL, and somebody that I think I would like to target for down the stretch. On the opposite side, Raphael, he's never a guy that I want on an OBP league to begin with because he never walks. But he is hitting over 280. The expected says he shouldn't be. And I don't think he will be by the end of the season. I think he'll be back down to his usual 260, 250. He'll give you some speed. He doesn't have a whole lot of power. So he's a guy that I think you look at his numbers right now, they look pretty good. I think I would deal him if I could.
One thing about him, he is swinging a little bit less. Like he doesn't have this 60% swing rate that he had in the past. So him and Pete Crow Armstrong both have kind of calmed it down a little bit. But yeah, I agree. Wasn't he on the All-Star team? I didn't really understand that. He hasn't had a great first half. I guess the defense is there. Just not a lot to love with Rafaela. A little bit of power, a little bit of speed. Batting average can go pretty poorly for a while because he's not the best like decision maker with his swing still, even though there's a little bit of improvement there. So that was buy Suarez, sell Rafaela on the Red Sox. Marlins, Yuri Perez, the sinker, has come into play. I believe he's just kind of tinkered. He got hurt. He got back really quickly, but since then he's looked awesome. Took that perfect game into the 8th inning or something like that, and they removed him. So he's been really good, really, since he got that sinker in. Everybody knows he can strike guys out. His stuff plus, his velo, everything is really great. He just had a problem with command, and maybe that'll still be a problem. But he had a huge problem with home runs in the first couple months, and that's calmed down. It was always going to come down. He wasn't going to have a 24% home run to fly ball rate, whatever it was. So Yuri Perez, just buy for the ceiling, right? Like it could still go poorly. Command is spotty. Home runs will probably be an issue at some level, but he's got the stuff to, if he figures that out, to be like a SP1 next year. So I'm trying to buy a little bit high on Yuri Perez too. Maybe not even high because his season numbers are still bad. So if someone sees those, you might be able to get a decent price. Tell me if you agree with this Max Meyer sell. I put Max Meyer as the sell just because his fastball is so bad. I talked about him a lot. I don't have to go into it, but Max Meyer, bad fastball and approaching. I think he's already passed his innings total from last year by a good bit. That was my thought process.
Yeah, the injuries always scare me with Max as well. Yeah, I think he's definitely a sell. And in fact, I would say one of the things, it's been very interesting listening to other podcasts the last week or so. Everybody's been touting how well the hitters on the Marlins are doing. I would refer them to my park predictions where the Marlins had a week in which they spent 7 games playing in Colorado and then went to Sacramento. Yeah, they look like they're hitting really well now because they just played 7 games there. So I would put a ton of guys on this Marlins sell. I just traded Liam Hicks the other day to a guy who thought he needed a catcher.
I was going to, yeah.
So yeah, lots of choices there. I mean, like we said, Otto Lopez playing out of his mind. Yeah, lots of sell opportunities, I think, here on the Marlins.
Yeah, buy Perez, sell Meyer for me. You got the Orioles.
Yes, so I actually went with Taylor Ward as my buy and my sell, and I will explain myself. Taylor Ward is in the middle of the very weird season among weird seasons that he's had in the past, which is not a surprise. Last year, hit over 30 home runs. This year, he has 6, but his OBP is almost 390 for a guy with a career 330 OBP. So I think he's somebody that in an OBP league, somebody's going to see that 390 OBP and want to get him. So you might be able to trade him. And in a batting average league, it's going to be the opposite because his batting average is his usual 240, 250 range. Yeah. Not so sexy. I do think the power is going to come back because they have shifted him from the leadoff spot down to the 3 spot. And he's a guy that, despite the fact that he's played all this time for the Angels and then, of course, this year for the Orioles, he does seem to hit the way you need that person in that lineup to hit. I also think that he's going to get traded. I would like to see him on the Phillies or another team like that. And I think if he moves, and I do expect him to move at the trade deadline because he is in the last year of his contract, he's a guy that I think I want to target now.
Yeah, he just wasn't swinging. He swung more lately. I've been watching that. He had like a 28% swing rate, like the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen. It's up to 34%. So he's getting more aggressive, which he just had to be. I mean, it took him a long time to hit a second home run. He's got 6 now. The barrel rate's way down for Taylor Ward. I agree with that. I think that makes sense. Like if he's going to get shifted back in the lineup a little bit, he'll go back to maybe going for more power. While as a leadoff man, he seemed just set on taking walks, which is kind of terrible for every fantasy league that other than those OBP leagues. So interesting dynamic there for Taylor Ward. Nationals, they're another team that is generally just like they can't keep this stuff up. They're tied with the Pirates for most runs in the league right now. I mean, who saw that coming, right? The 2 top scoring teams in the first half, Pirates and Nationals. There's a lot of probably guys that had career 3-month periods, Garcia, Abrams. But I got Abrams as a sell. We'll just put that there. Really made most of his noise in the first couple months. It hasn't been so great lately. Not a good second half player historically, if that matters to you.
It should.
Okay. I don't know. I wouldn't take it too seriously. It's only a few seasons, but the split's been the same every year. So we'll see. Maybe he can't keep up. Maybe wears down. The interest level for him, the motivation should be a little bit higher if he stays on the Nationals because they're actually in the race this year. So I don't know. He's like the number 1 or 2 shortstop in fantasy this year, and he really hasn't been that for several weeks now. So there's a sell opportunity on Abrams. The buy is Jake Irvin. Maybe this is like a 15-team league thing. He looked kind of decent under the hood. Like he had made strikeout improvements and stuff. Then he got hurt, but he's rehabbing now and should be back. So if you need some pitching depth, Jake Irvin's there for you. Should be back soon.
Yeah, I like that. That's a sneaky pick there on Irvin.
Blue Jays.
On to the Blue Jays and Kevin Gossman. Speaking of people who perform better in the second half of the season, that would be him. He's had an okay first half of the season. He kind of had a rough couple weeks here right before the break. I expect him to pitch much better in the second half like he normally does. And Ernie Clement, I don't know that he can be any more sky high than he is at the moment. I think, all-star Ernie Clement is a guy that you should probably sell on.
Yeah.
The peak is not going to be very exciting. So especially if you're in a smaller league of 12 to 15 teams, I would probably deal him as soon as you can.
Yeah, 8 homers feels like that's what he has right now. It felt like that's a whole season for him. Batting average is 40 points above expected for Ernie Clement.
Yeah.
So recap there. Nationals by Irvin, sell Abrams. Blue Jays by Gossman. Totally agree there. Sell Clement. Just be prepared for more clunkers from Gossman, but he usually puts together not really good numbers over the full season. The good usually outweighs the bad, but it's not looking so great in the box score stuff right now. So by Gossman, I agree. Central divisions, Brewers, Shane Drohan, my boy. I've been talking about him for several weeks. Seems like I'm being proven right. He's looked really sharp. Brewers are definitely going to need him now. Harrison's on the IL, Misiorowski with the fatigue thing. They did make the trade. They get McCullers and Gordon. So they added some depth there, but I think Drohan right now is like their number 3 guy healthy. Even assuming Misiorowski's healthy, it's like Logan Henderson's there. And they got to like what they're seeing from Drohan. A lot of good there. We talked a lot about him. So I like him. He's widely available. I would even consider him in 10, 12-team leagues. The sell is going to be tough because I have Kyle Harrison and Misiorowski. That was a lot easier to do a week ago before the fatigue thing with Misiorowski and with the IL stint for Harrison. You probably can't get much from him. But redraft leagues, I have really – obviously you have a ton of interest in Misiorowski still, but seems like he's the SP1 right now. He's throwing 104. That wasn't the case for years. He's clearly maxing out just to try to do these velocity things. And maybe the fatigue was nothing. Maybe they just wanted an extended rest, but it seems like he's one pitch away from having big trouble. If nothing else, shouldn't they tell him to like calm down for the, save the big velocity for the playoffs? They're 22 games over 500 or whatever it is. Like, you don't need to be doing this right now, July and August. So maybe you'll even see him stay healthy, but just kind of not be quite as good. and you've already sold him, right? So
yeah, I'm glad I sold him 2 weeks ago.
yeah,
But I'm not surprised. He's never put on a ton of innings on his arm in a season. He is getting close to career highs already, and we're only halfway through. So, yeah, that's a guy that you might consider. I mean, it's not easy to give him up. My team was not very good, so it was a little easier to give him up and get some big old prospects in return. So,
yeah, redraft league. I think you take a look if you get another stud for him. I think that makes a lot of sense. So Drohan buy, sell Mizurowski and redraft if you can. Kyle Harrison ship's probably sailed. I really think you might hear that Kyle Harrison is out for a long time. Them going out and buying and getting 2 cheap pitchers right there was like a red flag for me that they need help. I also wrote down Christian Yelich as a sell potential. He just doesn't look good. I mean, the numbers all look really bad. Even when he's healthy, he's just not hitting well, hitting so many ground balls, and a lot of those other skills have dried up. So I'm not super interested in Yelich either. So we'll go to the White Sox now.
Yeah, the White Sox, speaking of guys who throw hard, Jordan Hicks, maybe not always throwing strikes, but he does always throw hard. He is on a bit of a little streak here where the last 8 to 10 innings, he has not given up a run. And these happen for him. In the White Sox bullpen, it's kind of flexible. Grant Taylor, you would think, is the closer, and sometimes he is, and sometimes he isn't. They got Dominguez as a free agent, but he's nobody anybody gets concerned with. I think Jordan Hicks, especially in a deep 20-plus team league, is a guy that I'm kind of interested in, especially if I can get saves and holds, and my holds are full. On the other side, Tristan Peters, another guy that, like Ernie Clement, is an all-star. Not really sure why he's an all-star. Shocked that he's still out there. I don't think there's a long run for him, but it could be okay for the rest of the season. But the White Sox got a lot of prospects coming up, and somebody's going to be the new center fielder, and it's not going to be him.
Yeah, Jordan Hicks has 1 walk in his last 9 innings or something since he got back from AAA. I don't know if that was an injury thing. Probably he wouldn't have a contract option. Must have been a rehab situation, but the walks are down in the short term. Tristan Peters, I'm pretty sure that they just needed an outfielder for the American League All-Star team, and the Friday before he hit for the cycle, and I think they said, that was cool, let's see if that guy can come play, or something like that. That was very strange. Tristan Peters, maybe the least known All-Star of all time. I don't know. That was definitely strange. Cubs, buy Nico Horner. I couldn't find anything on the Cubs. It's tough. The pitching is all really bad, and the offense is kind of just doing what they should be doing. But Nico Horner hasn't had a good season. I think he's good. Batting average, steals. I don't know. It's not a high conviction here, but sell Alex Bregman. He had a nice weekend to finish the first half. I just think he's not good for fantasy leagues. He never was, and the Wrigley thing, the park doesn't seem to be working for him. I'm an Alex Bregman owner in my main league. I can't get rid of him because there's just not a good replacement, but I don't think Bregman's going to have some kind of second half that, you're really going to regret getting rid of. It's been a really long time. Alex Bregman was a stud in 2018, 2019 when the balls were whatever they were, and he was playing with the Astros and just doing a lot of things. But his last 2 years now, in more than 200 games, he has 27 homers and 3 steals. What's it doing for you? And the home run rate is by far a career low since he's gotten to Wrigley, so that's not working out for me. So buy Horner, sell Bregman, and we'll go to the Twins.
Luke Keeschel was a guy that was probably going in the top 125 of most drafts this spring, and he has not been injured, but he hasn't really performed, and now he's batting 9th in the Twins lineup. So I think he's a guy you can go get. I don't expect him to be batting 9th very long. So while he's down, I think I want to get him on my roster. Cody Clemens, on the other hand, was a guy that was readily available in any draft at any time and is doing amazing things this season. Is he a power hitter like he looks? No. Is he a guy that's going to get a lot of playing time? Well, he's on the Twins, so probably. Yeah. But if you can go ahead and sell him now, I would, for especially an interesting prospect or two.
Yeah, you could probably help yourself. Just go look at the preseason projections and the ADP, see which guys are way off of that, positive or negative, and move in that direction. 2 months, 3 months of baseball is pretty random, and the season-long projections still matter quite a bit. People throw them out by this time of the year, but there's a lot that goes into a preseason projection. There's a whole lot of randomness in 2.5 months of baseball, April, May, June. I guess it's 3.5 months. So it's a good sample size, but I agree with that. Cody Clemens seems like he's coming off the best run of his career. Pirates, I knew these ones right away. Didn't even have to look. Buy Jared Jones. Let me tell you about Jared Jones. I'm very excited. First of all, good news that he's going to start the first game out of the break, so they're feeling pretty good about his health, if nothing else. He just threw 6 perfect innings. He has a 15.9% swinging strike rate, does Jared Jones, and a pretty nice little 7.6% walk rate. So he's got a 19% K- walk. The pitch counts are like, he just got pulled with a perfect game, which tells you something. He is probably not allowed to throw more than 80 pitches right now, but they're in the race. Mitch Keller's been a disaster. He's probably their 3rd best pitcher right now behind Ashcraft and Skeens, and it makes some sense for them to kind of loosen up the reins a little bit. Jones still has the stuff, the big fastball, the great slider, and the command hasn't been so bad. So I think the arrow is up on Jared Jones. Sell for redraft leagues only. Esmeralyn Valdez. I get it. He looks like
fire.
He looks like the next. He looks like. Who's he look like? Like, it's not a good comparison, I guess, but he looks like the white. Oh my God, Eloy Jimenez. Like he kind of has the same thing. Eloy Jimenez. I don't know. It's not like you wouldn't be pumped if his career ends up like Eloy Jimenez. I don't know why I'm even saying that, but he kind of looks like that. Anyway, 10 homers and 100 plate appearances is like the greatest home run rate of all time. 10%, that's impossible. He has a 36% K rate. He has a 238 expected batting average, and yet he's hitting 309. He's got a 30% barrel rate. Just like, this is impossible. Everything's probably going to be cut in half. Like, he'll probably hit a home run every 20 plate appearances for the rest of the season rather than 10. And with this kind of strikeout problem, a 66% zone contact rate, he could get very cold very fast. So for redraft leagues, you definitely sell him right now. I know it's not comfortable, but I wish it wasn't the case. I wish I could believe, but it seems like a very kind of lucky. There's nothing lucky about hitting a 470-foot homer, but probably just can't keep it up. So I think that's pretty easy.
Yeah, he's on fire.
Royals.
For the Royals, Jack Caglione, I don't think it's going to be a buy low situation, but I think he is a buy because I do see him turning things around. This last month or so, he's been pretty hot. And I see him as a guy who could be a top 50 guy next year. And if I can get him now for a lot less than a top 50 price, then I would like to get him on my team. On the other side, Michael Wacha continues to do it somehow, some way. Not a guy with a great fastball, but a guy who does.
Like Martinez, same kind of thing. Isn't he? Yeah.
Yes. But he keeps the ball in the ballpark, and he doesn't walk guys. I think he's a decent guy, but as far as an arm and a starting pitcher, but he's not going to put up any amazing numbers. I think he's probably going to have a second half that's not as good as his first half. And I think the end is closer than the beginning for him, especially in his career. Maybe another year or two is about as much as you could expect out of him.
Yeah, he's my age, 35, so he's ancient for a baseball player. Give up 10 earned runs in his last 2, maybe All-Star team. I did say like the Royals came out and said we're not trading Seth Lugo or Michael Wacha this trade deadline. Like
insane.
Okay, what? Like, did you hear the question?
Were you the Angels?
Yeah. What? You're not going anywhere, and you're refusing to trade your 35-year-old starting pitchers? That's an understatement with Lugo, I think. So
yeah.
I don't know. They must be really good guys in the community or something like that. Cardinals didn't. This was tough. I put Matt Liberatore, kind of another like Jake Irvin thing. He just has been better since his first couple months. He's had some really nice outings. He can get some strikeouts. Seems like he could be a little bit better, and the volume should be there. He's still like taking the ball every time. And I don't know. It's not a 12-team league thing. It's a questionable even 15-team league thing, but for some volume and decent stuff and a few really good outings every once in a while, Matt Liberatore is a buy. Ivan Herrera is my sell. Doesn't really steal bases, doesn't have a ton of home run power. And I had a tough time with this one. I really couldn't find much. but his expected numbers for the last like 60 days are horrible. So I don't know. He's never really proven himself. He's never played a full season in the majors. So, and then some leagues, I guess he got catcher eligibility everywhere, but you might have a spot somewhere where he's only DH. Probably not, but that would obviously hurt things too. I just don't really see much stealing for Ivan Herrera. So that's what I did for the Cardinals.
I have a hot take for your Cardinals sell.
Yeah.
And this is redraft only.
Jordan
Walker.
Yeah.
Home run derby winners generally do not fare well in the second half of the season. I know he's been amazing, but
the winners don't or the contestants don't? Do you have empirical data on this?
I don't have empirical data on it, but I do have. I remember. Abreu was an outfielder for the Phillies. Not really a big home run hitter. Wins the home run hitting contest. I think he hit like 3 home runs in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
But then again, those are the crazy. You get 4,000 swings kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I mean Jordan Walker's a good. I agree. Like he's a good sell high because you can sell him like a
redraft only.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's some statistical bias in that the home run derby contestants will typically have worse second halves, but it's just because they're in the home run derby because they had a crazy big first half and they were going to regress anyway. It has nothing to do with the derby, but they got same with the All-Stars, right? Like you get picked because you had a good variance in the first half, and so for that reason you come down. But yeah, I can't argue with that. Okay, then to the Tigers.
Yes, Tigers. Troy Melton, starting pitcher for the Tigers, has looked really good since he's come back off the injured list. He's a guy still young in his mid-20s. He does a lot of things. He throws a lot of different pitches. Nothing is too amazing, but because he throws so many pitches and keeps batters off of the other pitches, I mean, he comes through with good numbers. Riley Green last year, hot first half, cool second half. This year, hot first half, not as hot as last year. Probably a cool second half.
Yeah. Riley Green's kind of a one-trick pony. Hits home runs, doesn't. Well, he hits for good batting average. He's another high BABIP guy, but
he's a little high this year on his batting average, a little higher than you would expect. So that's one of the reasons why I'm looking to sell.
The Reds, I want to keep saying Nick Lodolo. Everything looks bad. He didn't look any better at the end of the first half. It's just another thing.
He got a blister again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a downer, but it's just a general rule here. I'm not really hyping up Nick Lodolo, but like if a guy was pretty good in the past and they've just been really, really bad recently, it's a buy signal. Not 10 teams.
I think he's a big dynasty pickup, though.
Yeah.
I like him next year.
It's just like he's not as bad as he's shown this year. The sell is Chase Burns. I think they got some good news on him today. He's active and ready to start this weekend. But the innings limit's kind of coming up. He lost his command last time. Another guy, like, can these young pitchers hold up for 6-7 months of MLB games? And will they even let him run out the season in September if they're out of the race? Because they got to be a little bit concerned about the innings there. Also threw JJ Bleday on there. Really hasn't been very good since the first 2 months where he was awesome. So if you can still sell him, I'd do that. Chase Burns, obviously just a redraft suggestion there for the innings questions.
Yeah. I think the Reds should pay attention and sell JD. But
yeah.
Guardians, I went with 2 relievers who seem to be going in opposite directions. Hunter Gaddis was on the injured list to start the season. He took a little while to get started, but this last month or so, he's been Hunter Gaddis again, picking up his holes left and right and shutting down guys and getting good strikeout amounts. Eric Sabrowski looked like Hunter Gaddis to start the beginning of the season. He was getting all the holds. He was striking out all the guys. Then he went on the injured list and he came back and he is not the same guy. So obviously there's something about that injury that was not good. It was to his shoulder arm area, so that always is concerning. But his numbers still look pretty good overall for the season, so he might be a guy that you can sell high on still.
Okay, 2 middle relief guys for the Guardians there. Buy Gaddis, sell Sabrowski. Dodgers, I don't know. Tommy Edman's back. People are picking him up. He can do a little bit of home runs and steals. Just in case you didn't know, Edman's one of these guys that hits all his homers from the right side of the plate, big splits guy. But I guess the Dodgers have always liked him. He should maybe play a good bit in the outfield. I never really liked him a ton, but he's probably free in deeper roto leagues. He can do a little bit of that. Emmett Sheehan too. I put him as a buy, and that's just hope. I'm just hoping that he has a big second half because I have him a lot. But he does have swinging strike rate. He seems like maybe just a little bit of luck and a little bit of an adjustment to be really good, but I don't know. It's been 18 starts or something of him being pretty bad. Sell Will Smith. He's going to get back from the IL soon. It's just not that good. I don't know. Like, he's not a very good fantasy hitter. He's overvalued for that reason, and they'll probably be very careful with his playing time as well, second half. So I wouldn't be buying too much into Will Smith.
Okay, on to the Astros. Cam Smith, not exactly killing it here the last couple months, but he is a guy who has made some improvements. His expected numbers are much higher than his current numbers, so I think he's been a little bit unlucky. And he does have a pretty good power speed mix, so I would love to get him in a dynasty buy. Christian Walker, on the other hand, I think has been playing a little above where he expected to get him. He was definitely depressed in terms of his value to begin the season, so I think if you can deal him now, I have no idea what the Astros are going to do at the trade deadline, and they were trying to get rid of him, but they couldn't find anybody to take him. I don't know if they want to get rid of him now, but he may not be on the Astros much longer, so he's a guy I definitely want to look into selling.
Buy Cam Smith, sell Christian Walker there. Cam Smith is maybe he takes a Jordan Walker career arc here. Maybe it just takes him a while. It's got 98th percentile bat speed and 93rd percentile sprint speed. It's hard to be bad with this kind of bat speed, and he's 23. He's still very young in his career. Maybe it won't happen this year like we were kind of thinking it would, but definitely for Dynasty, all kinds of upside there for Cam Smith. Diamondbacks, I have another boring one. Geraldo Perdomo. It's just a situation where he had the career year last year and he was way overdrafted this year. Like, he was a clear fade for me in drafts. We got that right. But now he's been way worse than even like the regression would say. Like, we knew he wasn't going to be that as good as he was last year, but he shouldn't be as bad as he's been this year too. His batting average is like 240. He's probably going to hit 280, 270 the rest of the way, steal some bags. The power was totally fake, but everything else last year, I mean, you could believe. So Geraldo Perdomo, little buy low opportunity there in a deeper league. Eduardo Rodriguez, basically just like pick anybody that was on the All-Star team that doesn't actually seem good and like get rid of them, right? Like, why was Eduardo Rodriguez an All-Star? I don't know. He must have a good ERA. The strikeout rate is horrible. It's Eduardo Rodriguez. Like,
everything except strikeouts.
Yeah, he's got a 2.29 ERA with a 9% K minus walk.
He's a guy that carried over his World Baseball Classic performance into the season and has just kept it. It's just, I don't know, some kind of voodoo going on there.
Yeah, it's a medium walk rate. It's a 5 point below average K rate. And one home run per 9. Like, he must just be stranding everyone or something. He's not good. He's very lucky. Tell your trade partner, hey, this guy's an all-star. Do you want an all-star? And then get something for him. I don't know.
You got an all-star pitcher to trade you.
That's right. Mariners.
Julio Rodriguez, I'm not telling anybody probably something they don't already know. He is Mr. Second Half. He has, in his career, hit more home runs in the second half in 2/3 the amount of at-bats as the first half. So he's a guy that I always want to get in the second half. And Luke Raley, probably a little too late to sell on high on him, but he's a guy who has come back down to earth after a good start to the season. And I think the Mariners are going to be looking to trade for some guys that are going to take up all his playing time. So I'm more than happy to move along from him.
Luke Raley has a 59% contact rate. That's just so extreme. I mean, 71% zone contact rate. He whiffs so much, and he was always going to come crashing back down to earth. He just, like, for the first couple of months, when he would hit the ball, it would go out of the park almost every time, and that you can't keep that up. So anybody with like a below 70% contact rate, unless they've proven it, like if they're Judge or Stanton or somebody, like some of these guys can kind of do that for a career, but that's a huge red flag. It's always good to check the contact rates for these guys hitting a lot of home runs, but don't punish the guys who have long track records, obviously. Padres, kind of a disaster organization here too. I got still a buy on Manny Machado. I think people are just kind of sick of him, and he's just still doing pretty well. 19 homers, I think that's right, something like that. Like a good home run first half. He's a solid player. Maybe can even get a little bit better in the second half. So, and you just don't have that like appeal anymore where people really want Manny Machado. I think you can get a nice price on him. It's not going to win you your league, but he's still very good, and his home run rate is right where it's always been, even though it doesn't really seem like that. Sell Michael King, I don't know. It's just he's lost like 5 points on his strikeout rate. It just doesn't seem that good. And then you look back at Michael King's career, and it's like, okay, this guy's been a good starting pitcher for fantasy leagues for what, like 4 months? I don't know. He had the nice 2023 season with the Padres. That was only 105 innings though, and then last year was, never mind. 2024 was the big season for him. Last year got hurt. Lost some stuff, like his numbers weren't very good. And this year, the key point here, 108 innings for King, which is already over what he did last year, and the K rate's down to 20.8%, and the walk rate's high as usual. So it doesn't look like there's much to like there from King, besides the fact that he doesn't give up home runs, which helps. But his 1.15 whip, that's too low. It's going to come up. So I don't like Michael King at all.
On to the Athletics. Currently on the IL for the rest of the season, Brent Rooker is on my buy spot.
He is out for the year. Yeah,
he is out for the year, yes, with a knee injury. And I'm interested in Brent because he's still going to get at least one more season there in Sacramento next year. Definitely a dynasty guy, and I actually traded Liam Hicks for him yesterday. So
that's good.
That's a sell high on Liam Hicks and buy low on Brent Rooker. That I think is a nice thing to look for. Zach Geloff, unfortunately, currently injured. But if he wasn't, I think you could probably get a pretty good deal for him. Multi-position eligible. He is looking like the Zach Geloff of his rookie season again. But he doesn't seem to come back well from injuries. He is injured for the second time already this season. That's probably not a good sign, and I wouldn't expect to have him to have a very good second half of the season, given that injury history.
Yeah, his WOBA, ex-WOBA line is crazy far away. He has, I don't have the exact numbers on this. He's got a 315 batting average in his last 60 plate appearances. The expected is 240.
Yeah.
0% barrel rate in his last 60 plate appearances. So yeah, the numbers are all looking really bad. And then this Kuroda Grauer guy is kind of holding his own. So they've got an extra infielder now where maybe they don't need Geloff because Jacob Wilson's back as well. So that's a pretty obvious one there. Probably going to be tough to get a whole lot if anybody kind of knows what's going on, but that's a good point there. Giants, I just got to say sorry to Logan Webb for making him mad on Twitter the other day. So I put him as a buy. I don't know. He kind of I don't think I was the biggest violator of it, but he was on Twitter searching his name or something and calling people out, and I was one of them. I didn't think he should be an all-star, but he was like, well, I am. I didn't pick it. I was like, yeah, okay. All right, man, get off Twitter. You're a professional athlete. And then he did. He deleted his Twitter. So I hope he gets well. But yeah, Logan Webb, he's going to be Logan Webb in the second half. He's good.
Get that burner account on Twitter there, Logan.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Don't make me look good. I mean,
be like Kevin Durant.
You just you legitimize me because once you reply to a troll, you just feed the fire. You don't want to do that. You don't want to give guys like me that satisfaction. Although I wasn't overly mean or anything like that. I treat people like humans. I'm not going to be, I didn't think I did anything super wrong, but it was funny that he got into it. Sell Robbie Ray. The park is obviously helping him, but the K rate's way down. He's Robbie Ray. Just does not good. And you don't want to start him on the road. His road numbers are bad. He gives up a lot of home runs on the road. If it weren't for that big outfield in San Francisco, I don't think he would be very good at all. So I'm selling Robbie Ray if you can do that.
On to the Rangers, my buy is Brandon Nimmo, and I'm not all bought in on this because everything says this should be something that works. His expected numbers are much higher than his current numbers, but he has hit the voodoo of Globe Life Field there at Texas. Yeah. Nobody hits well there, and the Rangers hit especially poorly at home. So unfortunately, he's got half his game's going to be there. So I say that because the numbers say he should, regress to the mean and have a much better second half of the season, but I'm not super hopeful. Josh Young, on the other hand, is a guy that I would hope that you've already traded. Yeah. He's always, an injury away from missing the season, and he's been treading that line pretty closely. So But he's put together pretty good numbers this year. Maybe you can find somebody who still believes in him. He's still a fairly young player at this point. So if somebody's desperate for a third baseman, he could be a good sell for you.
We're all one injury away from missing the rest of the season, John. I'll just put that on JJ. But long history there. Brandon Nimmo is very interesting. On the road, 492 slug. He's got what's 360 plus 490? 870 OPS on the road. Like, really good. Hits a lot of barrels to center field, and I guess they just go there to die in Texas. So I think that explains some of it. But I totally agree. Like, his underlying stats look awesome, and he's going to play daily for the Rangers. So I have agreed with pretty much everything you said so far. So we're doing well. Cole Carrig for the Rockies. Just like, he's got a ton of steals potentially. Don't think he has a ton. He must just not have found his way on to first base.
He seems to be ending up on third base an awful lot. I see triples all the time. Yeah. I'm like, what's going on?
He's got a 14% attempt rate, which is pretty good. And it was higher than that in the minors, and then only 2 steals to show for it. So I think you get more steals. And I think he's got the power speed thing. He's actually a pretty decently touted prospect for the Rockies. So I like him as a buy. With 4 homers and 2 steals, I don't think anybody's going to be holding tightly onto him. We'll see how if he can hit on the road at all as we get bigger sample. These Rockies guys have a lot of trouble with that.
I think your sell guy is going to be the key to what happens to Cole Carrig.
Yeah, Jake McCarthy. He's got he was just the first one ever to hit 2 leadoff inside the park home runs in the same season, right? That by itself isn't a reason to sell, but 20% of his season home runs are inside the Parkers. So, he's probably not going to hit another one of those, so he should only have 8, which makes quite a big bit of difference in fantasy leagues. He's hitting 301 on the road, hitting 285.
He's likely going to be on Astros or some other team in the second half of the season. So
you think?
He's not going to have – yes. He and Mickey Moniak are the 2 outfielders that the Astros have been clamoring for.
Okay.
Because they need a left-handed bat. So
that only
I'm assuming that yesterday's trade had something to do with how we're going to fit these guys in under the cap.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, definitely get rid of McCarthy if you can. Awesome first half, but he's a sell for me, and I didn't even know about the trade thing, so that even strengthens it. So last one, Angels.
Speaking of trades, Joe Adell. Somebody come go get Joe Adell. Maybe the Phillies will come get him. I don't know. There's lots of teams out there that have definitely been talking about Joe Adell. Only 27, hit nearly 40 bombs last year. Not that guy this year so far, but I think he could be. Right-handed hitter, so obviously the Astros are not going to be interested. But is a guy that I would love to see in a different uniform, and I think he could really take off. So I would get an offer out there to see if you can get him now. Jose Soriano, hopefully you took advantage and tried to deal him back in April when he was the best pitcher in the league. He is no longer the best pitcher in the league. He's just Jose Soriano. So maybe there's somebody out there that will look at his season-long stats and say, that looks pretty good. If they do, give him away. Angels, you might want to take this advice too.
Unbelievable. He couldn't make the All-Star team, after that start to the year.
If they'd had the All-Star game at the end of April, he would have made it.
Yeah, he'd have been the starter. They need some. Was it only Mike Trout as the Angels representative?
That was probably too much, but yes.
Yeah,
you're right.
Every team still has to send one, right? Is that still a rule? Okay. Yeah, crazy that it wasn't Soriano after the start he had, but yeah, he's been bad. I don't know. He's been so bad that you probably can't really sell him, right?
He hasn't been quite that bad. Yeah. He had a rough stretch there in June. It looks like he's bounced back the last couple starts, so not as horrible as it was, but obviously not going to get the price you were getting before.
3.57 ERA, 1.29 WHIP. That's not too bad, I guess, but I'll probably do worse than that.
Yeah, so, the season-long stats look pretty good.
Yeah, 12. That's homers, 8 wins, whatever. Okay, cool. 50 minutes. That was good. The names will be listed in the written piece if you want to go back and just see them. But thanks for listening, and we'll get regularly scheduled content going as the second half gets kicked off here. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time.
Big Data Warehouse, yeah, we bring the spree. Prospects, DFS, betting strategy. John's grumpy, Tim scouting like a man possessed. Doc drafting comeback stories better than the rest. But the tools are elite and the content's free. And your fantasy trophy gonna look prestigious. ML.